Hi everybody, glad to have you with us this week. One of the things I love the most about my job is traveling the southern United States and exploring new water and new territory. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to a place that I've never laid eyes on before, never fished here before, but my understanding is it's a great place to fish in a tucked away, out of the way location. You may have never heard of this place before, but you're about to now because Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That is a fish. Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Hi everybody, on a gorgeous morning weather-wise, I'd like to welcome you into the show, and I'd like to welcome you into a brand new lake that I've never fished before. Just over my right shoulder is Lake Chicot. It's located on the far eastern side of Arkansas, very near the Mississippi border, just off the Mississippi River. Now this is the largest oxbow lake on the North American continent at 5,500 surface acres, and it's the largest natural body of water in the state of Arkansas. I've never seen this lake before, never fished on it before, don't have any information, no guides. I'm just going to go out fishing today and see what we can catch. There are bass and crappie, catfish in the lake. I have no idea what we'll catch, but you'll get to explore it with me. While we're out doing that, we're going to take you around your local region for this week's fishing reports from our team of expert insider reporters from lakes, rivers, and bays right near you, both saltwater and freshwater. And we're going to be exploring today out of my beautiful fishing machine. This is the Low Stinger 198 fishing boat. It's got big fishing decks on it. I've got it rigged out with my Mercury Pro XS 154 stroke. It's got all the storage compartments. It's a high, stable, dry riding boat that controls very well. I love to fish out of this boat. So next time you see me, I'll be out on Lake Chicot exploring. Let's get this boat down the boat ramp and let's get things started back at the studio and your weekend planner.
Hi there, the Solunar tables are predicting good game fish activity throughout both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins around 5:34 Saturday and 6:08 Sunday morning. Evening activity will begin at 5:59 on Saturday and 6:33 on Sunday. Depending on your location, expect the sun to rise around 6:42 and set around 8:28. And evenings will feature a last quarter moon that is 51% visible. We'll be right back to check out all of the current fishing reports from throughout the area, and I'll return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Brandon Card on this week's Ask the Pro feature. Stick with us.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors, making it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Power Pole, total boat control. Visit Mississippi, good times are close by. Low Boats, 50 years of boating craftsmanship. Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Nearly every one of these is hitting the black and chartreuse color. And there you go. Nice crappie, every one of them. Out here spider rigging. And here's a bite. Right there, there's a fish. First one right there. That's crappie. There we go. There is my first fish out of Chicot Lake. There's a good crappie for you right there. Fat, lots to eat, and hit a bright colored jig. Well, we're gonna let these fish go. That would make a good solid keeper crappie right there, but away he goes. And let's get you set up on Chicot Lake from what I've learned about it. As I mentioned, it's 5,500 surface acres. It's about 22 miles from end to end and about 3/4 of a mile across. It's shallow, 15, 20 feet of water is the deepest you're gonna find. Most of it's way shallower than that. This lake has kind of an interesting story. It's got a causeway kind of across the middle of it. Below the causeway, the Corps of Engineers did a complete remodel project down there and basically diverted the muddy water that runs out of the farmland around here over to the Mississippi River so that this thing could clear up a little bit. So generally the upper half of the causeway, above the causeway, is clearer than the lower half. It's an interesting place around here. It's got some bayous running off of it, some creeks running into it. One of the last Civil War battles in the state of Arkansas was fought right here on this lake at Ditch Bayou down in the southern part of the lake. So it's got some history around it. So we got a good start, got a crappie in the boat. Chicot Lake, my first visit here and the first fish.
Hey, because of all that rain we've had here in Oklahoma over the past couple of weeks, some of our bigger reservoirs, especially on the eastern side, are still above normal and therefore releasing quite a bit of water through the gates. And as we've talked about before, that can make for some really good fishing in the tail race sections below those dams. Now, I stopped here at LOUISIANA today to see what was going on, and I made a new friend, Andre Phillips. He was fishing for catfish, and what he was doing was, well, let's let Andre tell you.
I got me some cut shad here. Got the tail. Hook them through there. Right through the tail. This is cut shad used for catching catfish. Okay, we're going to take this old boy and throw him in the middle of the current and let him do what he do.
Now, in these tail race waters with current like this, you can catch catfish, you can catch white bass, and if you have stripers and hybrids in the water, it can be good for that as well. Tommy Biffle took advantage of that recently on an outing at Fort Gibson Lake, which is still up above normal. Had his grandsons out there, Drew and Dawson. They were having a blast catching a schooling white bass and some really good ones. Hey, we're in summer in Oklahoma. It's hot, but the fish are biting, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Fish on. There's a fish. Ooh, it's a good pull. Good crappie. There's a good crappie right there. Get in my net. Get in my net. My arms aren't long enough. There we go. All right. There's a good slab. Well, there you go. They're all about the same size. They're all good ones. And they want that black color. That's really amazing. Nearly every one of these is hitting a black and chartreuse color. And there you go. Nice crappie, every one of them. Really fat, healthy fish. I should be keeping these today. I got a friend. Her name is Big Mama. Her nickname is Big Mama, and she would kill me if she watched me do this right here. See, you know, I'm out here spider rigging, and a lot of people would ask me, of all the ways to catch them, which we can catch them a lot of different ways, pitching under docks, dabbling around cypress trees, why would you choose spider rigging? Well, I'm coming to a new lake for the first time, and I don't know my way around. I'm not a local. I don't know the spots to fish where the crappie hang out. So this is the best way for me to just cover water. I can just get out here and fish for these open water fish. There's always a bunch of crappie living out in open water. As long as there's bait fish around, which there are, I can see them on my graph, then I know there are crappie in the area, and I can just cover big stretches of water until I find some fish. It's my best way to find fish, and your best way to find fish. If you don't know the territory, just get out there and spider rig, troll around 4, 5, 6 rods out. You can find some fish that way. That's why I choose it. A good slab for you right there. Well, I gotta confess to you, I'm doing something that I rarely do today. There's one. Got him. There we go. Crappie, good one. Good one. Let's grab the net. Let's see if we can slide him in there. All right, I saw that fish come up and eat that on my active target. Welcome back, everybody. We are still crappie fishing at Arkansas today. And there's a good slab for you right there. Well, I gotta confess to you, I'm doing something that I rarely do today. I've changed locations on you, and it's paid off with another good slab like that. That's a big old fat female right there. Back he goes. Let me tell you, the fishing was just too tough for me over at Chicot. I spent a bunch of hours over there, and I just wasn't getting enough bites. And caught a few crappie, but just not enough. So I just decided to make a little move, and I went about 15 or 20 minutes south down the road to a very similar lake to Chicot. This is Grand Lake. It's a smaller version of Chicot. It's an oxbow off the Mississippi River, cut off on both ends. It's about maybe a couple of thousand acres, got a maximum depth of about 10, 11 feet, it looks to me like. I've driven around out here. The water clarity is a lot clearer here. It was really dirty. Had a lot of rain, a lot of wash off over there at Chicot, and evidently not as much here at Grand Lake. So we're off to a good start. Made a little move, and let's see what we can find over here. And I want to explain how I'm fishing. Let's see what else we can catch in Arkansas today. 2 lake special for you today. Got a bonus.
Hi everyone, Captain Greg Varm here, bringing you your Texas Coastal Fishing Report. Hey, we're in the middle of summer peak season and fishing both inshore and offshore in Galveston and Freeport. Our inshore trips, hey, they're doing great in Galveston. Both redfish and speckled trout are being caught. Even though the rain has let up here on the Texas coast, and we're still seeing lots of fresh water coming down the Trinity River. And this has the fish stacked up along the Galveston jetties. Now, let's talk Freeport and deep sea. I just got off the water and I'm worn out, to be honest with you, but today, hey, we had solid limits of red snapper with some kings mixed in. Now the kings, they're coming off the shrimp boats in 60 to 80 foot of water. Also, hey, this past week we had a 62-pound wahoo hit the deck. We were trolling mirror lure divers in 160 foot of water, and this wahoo smoked it. Summertime fishing is on fire on the Texas coast, and if you want to fish in Freeport or Galveston, give me a call, check out our websites. Also, right now is the time to be booking your fall redfish and flounder fishing trips. Hey, give me a call, check out our websites. I'm Captain Greg Varm. I'll see you next week.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here for this week's Let's Fish Report, coming to you from Louisiana, right here in Hackberry and Cajun Paradise Charters. We're going to talk about the other side of the state though. Breton Sound, Delacroix, Hopedale area. Lots of redfish, lots of speckled trout getting caught. They are catching better on live shrimp. Early and late seems to be the key there. Find you some clear, moving water. I'll tell you what, lots of fish getting caught in good action. Just watch the heat. Also, on the offshore side of things, both out of Venice and Grand Isle, some large yellowfin tuna getting caught, an occasional swordfish. But I tell you what, snapper season's still open, catching lots of big red snapper. Look them up and give them a call. There's a bunch of good guys down there. You can go on a chartered trip. Pro Cajun Phil, Captain Kevin Broussard here in Hackberry, Louisiana, saying, let's fish. See you next week.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose. Feel the difference. Waypoint Customs. Customize your boat your way. Strike King. Tie one on. Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Fishing Specialties. Makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Another little fatty. These fish are probably 13 inches long, something like that. Oh, here's one. Come out of that rod holder. Oh, that feels like a good fish right there. Nope, not the same size. He's hung up in the other rod. So I've got both jigs in him. Get this out of the way. There, now I got that one clear. Well, we got fish working at Grand Lake. There we go. Come here. Got him. And I nearly lost him because he got in the other rod. Look at that. All right. Well, that's cool. Just another little fatty. These fish are probably 13 inches long, something like that. So already got more consistent bite here at Grand Lake. So the moral of the story is be flexible. Now, I mentioned something earlier that I'm doing that's just really cool. It's more of a fascinating thing than anything, but I'm literally using my LOWRANCE active target to set the depth of my jigs. I'm only in about 8 feet of water, and I want my jigs riding. I got one jig about 4 foot and one about 6 foot. I've got them about 2 feet apart, and I'm using my live scope to watch those jigs trolling through the water at about 0.3, 0.4 miles an hour. All right, well, turned into a good day, just making that one little move. Caught some fish at Chicot, moved down to Grand Lake, caught some fish there. Arkansas, East Arkansas, just off the Mississippi River. Got some good crappie fishing.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Fun & Son Tackle Sales. Not only do they have the latest in tackle, gear, lures, and apparel, but they've got some things that you won't find anywhere else. You need to ask at the counter about their specials each and every week. Now we're going to start out this week at Lake Arrowhead, where the crappie bite is on fire. You're going to want to fish around all of the rigs that are out there, and you'll use either your minnows or your crappie jigs to catch your crappie on Arrowhead. Now, down at Conroe, bass fishing and boat docks go hand in hand. You'll want to work early in the morning around the back of the docks and the sides with your topwater baits like your Devil's Horse or your Popar, Zara Spook. Then, as the sun gets higher in the sky, you're going to want to transition deeper into the water column. But eventually, you're going to be fishing under those docks where the shade is. You're going to need some baits you can skip back there like a jig. Black, blue, green pumpkin, your standard jig colors. Half-ounce size, skip it back under the dock and let it drop down into those shady spots to catch your Conroe bass. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and look us up on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
There's another one, there's another one. Oh yeah, boy, they pull that rod down. They're all about the same size. We are still on Grand Lake, not the Grand Lake, Oklahoma, but the Grand Lake, Arkansas. And I bet you didn't even know there was a Grand Lake, Arkansas, but it's got those in it. Well, we've had a great day. It's turned into it's a gorgeous weather day, number one, but just to struggle the way we did for the whole first part of the day and then make one little move, a little line, 20 minutes south down the road, change oxbow lakes. There's a bunch of them around here too. There's right across the border in Mississippi, there's Lake Lee, there's Lake Washington, and several others around here. You can just look at a map and most all of them have a boat ramp in them, and most all of them have those slab crappie like that and some bass. Well, it's been a great day hanging here. We're gonna show you all the gear we use, show you the setup, give you a little more information. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury. Go boldly. LOWRANCE, America's #1 fish finder. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Get our free fishing guide at orangebeach.com. MotorGuide's Tour Pro with GPS anchor. The tour is back. Blazer, high-performance boats for high-performance anglers.
So glad you are back with us. It's time now for the Ask the Pro question. This week, Dorian would like to know, what are some tips that you would give someone who's looking to become a professional angler? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Brandon Card.
You know, I see a lot of student anglers, high school and college age anglers these days. They worry too much about sponsors and not enough about just learning new techniques and figuring out how to catch fish under different conditions. So that's what I would say, just stay on the water as much as you can. and just keep working your way up through the ranks, and the sponsors will come after you qualify for the elites or some of the top level.
Thank you, Brandon, so much for that information. If you have a question for one of the pros, visit our website at letsfishtv.com, click on the Ask the Pro link and send it in. Now let's check out the latest Big Catch of the Week winner.
We are back on the boat ramp, and it's time right now for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. He's Chase Pollard of Frisco, Texas, with a 9.3-pound largemouth bass he caught at Lake Louisville, Texas. And as an added bonus, here's Richard Tremblay with a 7-pound largemouth bass, also at Lake Louisville. If you'd like to have a chance to be our next winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest, just go to our website at letsfishtv.com, go to the bottom of the home page to the Big Catch area and follow the instructions.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Next up on the Academy Right Stuff, I want to show you some of the gear that's critical to catching these spider rigging crappie like we caught today. This is my double jig rig. It starts with a loop knot that I tie about 2 feet from the end of my line. I attach the first bait there. Now this is the Strike King Crappie Thunder in a black and chartreuse color. They really wanted black today. And then about 18 inches or 2 feet down, I tie the second jig on. That's the Strike King Lightning Shad body. And again, black and chartreuse seem to be the best color. And if the wind gets to blowing, I attach a little split shot. It's about an 1/8 ounce split shot, about a foot or 18 inches above the top jig, just to hold that bait vertical in the water. Now the other critical piece of equipment is my MotorGuide Tour Pro trolling motor. It is absolutely the best trolling motor I've ever run in my entire 38-year career. It's a foot control cable steer trolling motor that gives you all the feel of a normal foot control, but it has a GPS capability where you can anchor lock, you can heading lock down a straight line, you can put it on cruise control and go at a constant speed no matter what the wind or the current does. It has all the GPS functionality of the XI5 motor, but it's built into a foot control, so I can either control it with my foot or with the remote control that I have hanging around my neck. Check out the brand new MotorGuide Tour Pro. The Tour is back and you can get yours now. Among the many difficult things that happened in 2020 was that we lost a country music and southern rock legend in Charlie Daniels mid-year. Charlie did hit songs like The South's Gonna Do It Again and the old classic The Devil Went Down to Georgia, even this one. Well, I'm sitting on a bar stool acting like a darn fool, that's what I'm a-doing today. Well, I'm a-sitting here drinking, trying to keep a-thinking, I'm a-cruising my troubles away. Well, I couldn't make her stay, well, doggone her anyway, she can't say that I didn't try. So pour me another one, I'm finished with the other one, I'm drinking my baby goodbye. I grew up listening to Charlie Daniels and I'll miss him. One of the great things about Charlie, in addition to being a Grammy Award winner, a member of the Grand Ole Opry and the Country Music Hall of Fame, was that he was an American patriot. He believed in American values, American traditions, and doing things the right way. I'll miss Charlie Daniels, but the great news is I'll get to keep listening to his music because it will live on for the rest of my life. I hope you enjoyed our trip to eastern Arkansas's Chicot Lake on this week's show and learned a little something about being flexible as we moved on down to Grand Lake where the fishing got even better. Hope you learned something about spider rigging for crappie on your favorite reservoir. We'll see you back here next week. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes saying let's fish everybody. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.